Hey, it's Heather. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot today's video. Right now, I'm just sitting here and I'm really lost. I'm always lost on what to do, how to handle things because it's like my whole life. It's like being raised the way I was, my family, my parents, all kinds of stuff like that. It's like the way that they've dictated and controlled and all this and everything, and then the way that I'm an INFP, and so I don't fit in with most people, and this and that, and everything else. And then I'm an ambivert, and then that's just like Jennifer and me being over at her house the other night, and her friend, putting up a meme that I was just like, really, and like an ambivert means, you're else. There's times you're extroverted and there's times that you're introverted. And the thing is, too, is like Jennifer put up under the meme or whatever, she put, yeah, eccentric. And I thought, yeah, and she don't mean that with kindness, she means it with yeah, she's eccentric. And being eccentric is necessarily seen, for the most part, as a bad thing for most people until it's something that they need to use to benefit from. And that's what I hate about people, in vocabulary and words. We're getting to the point, like I've stated before, I think in a previous video, we're getting to the point where words are not going to mean anything. Because your intent speaks what you think the word is, what your intentions are. And if you say something as an insult, yeah, eccentric, for instance, yes, they're eccentric. And see, that's another thing too, is that's what my family used to tease my Uncle Jackie about. And my Uncle Jackie, he literally, he had problems practically from the day he was born, for as far as I understand. But I can't be certain, or whatever. And then he grew up and he was musically inclined to a degree, but then again, not, because his music was way out there. I'm talking some twisted Pink Floyd sounding shit or what the hell ever. But if you think about it, and if my parents, not my parents, but my mom, because it's her brother, and my aunt would have looked at it and understood that he was taking all the music that he grew up on and making music that way. He was pulling from what he knew of and what he did like. And even though his music wasn't even necessarily music and they laughed at him, made fun of him and everything, it's just bullshit, My music, though, because nobody's ever even, except for my kid, heard my music, then my kid tells them that I do music, then they probably already know, because they're probably the ones that done something with my notebook or what the hell ever that I trashed and shit. And that's the reason my dad's such an asshole towards me, is because he knows he done something with the notebook. My music's actual music, in the normal terms of what music is, to a degree, whenever I do write lyrics and stuff like that. And I've wrote poems online with this new app that I got, that show, that I can rhyme and all that. And even though, yes, my uncle could too and everything, the music that he would put to the background of it sometimes just sounded like somebody going haywire with a guitar, in all honesty. But that was his, and there's lots of people that do weird music, if you will, and everything, and there's lots of them that actually do pretty fucking well and make a name for themselves and everything. And instead of my family being proud of him whenever he went to Chattanooga and was doing stuff there and everything, they were ashamed, and it's I feel like I'm like him in that degree. It's you're the person that is always trying to make somebody be proud of you. Just anybody. You just want one person that believes in you. That's the best way to word it. And you go your whole life and you never really find it. And thank God I had my Papa Myers when I was a kid, because he did believe in me. Oh, God, did he believe in me. And so did my great aunt and my great uncle. They legitimately was you're going to grow up, you're going to have a car, you're going to have a motorcycle, you're going to have a house, you're going to run it this way, you're going to do that, you're so determined, and everything. And I am, but when my parents are coming at me, you're a piece of shit, you ain't never going to make it, you're nothing but a whore, you're a slut, you're a piece of shit. Oh, you think you can drive? Oh, I'm not going to take you to get your license, I don't feel like it today, and it's what is it? Is it Jane Goodall? Or I don't know if that's the right name. But the woman that done all the studies on chimpanzees and stuff, and there's the chimpanzees, or it's chimpanzees, I think. They took two back in the, I don't know, anywhere from the 60s to the 80s, I think. But they took two babies, and they put one, like in its bed, and the other in its bed or crib or whatever. And this one they took care of, and that's all they did. They fed it, they watered it, or whatever. They bathed it, they put clothes on it, gave it blankets, gave it toys or whatever. The other one, though, they did that as well, but they also sat down and played with it. They also cradled it. They also hugged it. They loved on it. They were compassionate towards it. They cradled it and sang to it and read books to it and all kinds of stuff like that, where the other one they didn't. The other one ended up dying, I do believe, if I remember correctly. But that's like me. It's like I'm tired of sitting here striving and feeling like I'm fixing to fucking die just because nobody pays any mind to me, or when they do, it's just negative shit, And I'm so sick and tired of it, man. I'm so fucking sick and tired of it. Sorry, I'm getting a little nauseous, but I still don't feel too good. My stomach, oh my god, my right side was hurting earlier. It felt like just a huge pinch, in my side and everything. But hopefully it's getting better. We'll see. Jennifer, I said it in last night's video, but I was watching her kid, and so I watched her kid all night or whatever, or for the most part all night and everything. And her kid stayed awake because her kid drank over half a gallon of sweet tea, because all she gets at her house is like water and milk. But anyways, dang on. She ended up staying up most of the night and watching movies, but she finally went to sleep there for a while. A little while. But she didn't sleep very long. And then I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh great, because it sounded like my neighbor that's back behind me, which is the landlord's sister, it sounded like she was, because I woke up to sounding like her on the phone, because all you hear is like somebody just, talking and everything, and I thought, oh Lord, she's probably griping, to somebody about, us being up. But like literally, like this kid, because the way she's raised and everything or whatever, because her mom's constantly like, speak up, speak up, speak up and everything. So I'll be sitting right there right beside her, like she keeps snuggling up to me and cuddling up to me, and she'll just say something really loud, and I'm just like, yeah. And so she talks really loud, and then I've tried to keep the TV down past our curfew and everything, but I don't know. We'll see how it all pans out and works out and everything. But right now, all I want is I want my damn kid back. Like, that's it. Like, I want my kid back. I want my kid back last year. I want my kid back when I wanted her back. I never wanted to get rid of her, And that's the thing, too, is like, my mom's gonna take shit so fucking literal. Okay, well, then I'm done dead because your husband done killed me, Because, yeah, when I called that night, I was like, come get the child that you've always wanted to replace me with, come get your other daughter, is what I said to her. And I don't even know. I really don't know. Like, my parents are on this fake shit, and I guess that's why my daughter now, like, does this whenever I go to hug her or whatever. Because whenever I was little, my parents used to tell me all the time, Heather, you have such a bad temper. You have such a bad temper. You have such a bad temper. Yet, whenever I showed my bruises to my best friend's mom at the time, trying to get some help or whatever, and the mother said to my mother, Jeanette, what are you going to do, And she's like, I don't know. He just gets so angry with her, So it's okay for him to get angry with me, but it's not okay for me to lash out or be angry whenever, I was a kid. Because I was I was the one that caught that anger and everything. So no, it wasn't okay for me to be that way when I was a kid. So I learned to not be that way. That's the reason I listened to Eminem. I love Eminem. Eminem's music is what saved me from having blown out anger issues. And then they probably take into account the time I was like 15 or whatever, and I attacked my sister, if you will. But I attacked my sister because my sister had done slapped me in the face 3 goddamn times. She had slapped me previous times way before that, because whenever I was like 5, I bit her, and it brought the blood because she had me pinned to the floor and she wouldn't get the fuck off of me. And so I bit her, and my dad beat my ass and told me to never lay a hand on her ever again. And my sister, being the genius child that she was, and the manipulative little asshole that she was like, oh, I just won. Now I can hit her, I can pinch her, I can bite her, I can slap her, I can do whatever I want to her, and she can't do nothing back. So that's what my sister did to me all those years. So for 10 years, I took my sister's abuse. And this one day in particular, I had enough. So I let her know. And granted, it got bad. It did. Because I'd had enough. 10 years of somebody sitting there, being abusive towards you, and you stand up for yourself. I'm sorry. But then again, I'm not. That's typical. That's normal. But anyways, so they hadn't said anything like that to me since I was a kid, but I guess they've always had that in the back of their minds or some shit or whatever, probably because my sister milked it so bad and was like, and all this and everything, or whatever and stuff. I have no idea. I really don't. I have no idea. But all I know is I want my damn kid back, and this is bullshit. And as a matter of fact, I took a video, but I didn't load it. I loaded one on Facebook and left it as me only or whatever. But it's the video of the video, because I can't upload it because I don't have a computer, but it's the video of our last year together, if you will, or our 2017, kind of, for the most part, to a degree. I mean, there's some other photos, I do believe, someplace else, but I'm not 100% certain and everything. I know there's photos before then, though, like 2015 and 16, which are years that we've been living here, but these are 2017, and she went over to their house on December, 23rd? Yeah. Is that right? 20th? Yeah, December 23rd of 2017. And hasn't been back home all this time. I don't even understand. That's the thing, too, is okay, a judge is going to make a ruling, or what the hell ever, because of the evidence that they see that's presented to them in court. But the evidence of who a person is and who a person has been and what a person has been through is never even spoke of. It's never even talked about. It's never even seen. It's never even viewed. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. Or so it seems. Because in all honesty, I wish to God that I could just I wish to God that okay, you're going to be a judge. Okay. Then come to my home, hang out with me one afternoon, let me talk to you a little while you're here, but let us just hang out like normal people, like you're just somebody I intended to invite over, and then give me a day to spend with you and talk to you. And then do the same to the other side, to my family, to the ones, or to Ava, my kid. Spend some time with them, hear their story. One day. It's not going to kill you to give them one day. It's not going to kill you to give me one day. And then from that, then make a judgment. Not based upon a few words that an attorney says. An attorney that gets paid to represent. But if the attorney feels a certain way, like cut out the middleman is basically what I'm saying. Because that's where everything gets foggy. Cut out the middleman. Like, seriously. Like, I don't even know. And then I get to sit here and try to figure out what the hell, like, I'm supposed to do for as far as taxes, and if that means that I can claim her or not. I thought for sure it meant that I couldn't. I thought that's the reason my attorney said to me, yeah, I think they're just doing it to get money, and I said it to him first, I do believe, because I was like, they've claimed her for like 6 years of her life on their taxes. Because they refused to take me to file taxes to claim her, even though they were like, oh, you can't file because you're not working. And then I found out that was bullshit a long-ass time ago from people. But then I was like, well, to have the life that I have, which is at least getting out occasionally, like, I mean, I made do with the opportunities that I fucking had. And then that's just like my grandmother. I'm sitting here right now and I'm like, why can't she not just call me and offer up the truck? Offer up to let me use the pickup truck for a while. Why can't she not just do that for me? And then it's like, oh, because I'm not Brandy. And then it's like, okay, can I call her and ask her for the pickup truck? And I can, but it's highly unlikely that she'll say yes. If she does, it would be a miracle. And the reason I say that is because she has said no to every other time I've asked. Every other time. And that's the thing, too. My grandmother sits there, oh, my hands are tied. I'm just like you, the conversation that we had, or whatever. I tried to call you. No, you didn't. It didn't show up on my phone. No, you didn't. You didn't try to call me. It's not on my phone at all. Well, your phone must be messed up. Funny, my phone shows every other person that calls me, but it's not showing you. Piece of dead skin, I think. But, yeah. And so, nobody has reached out to me. Nobody has gave a shit. Nobody has called me. Nobody has came by and checked on me that's a family member at all. And then when I call my grandmother, 2 months ago or whatever to check on my kid, because my attorney's not even helping me with that and everything for as far as visitation. He's just like, oh, well, you need to go back and start doing visitation. Okay. So I sent my kid a message. I've sent her like 3 damn messages since then and been like, we can start up visitation whenever you're ready. Then I see my child on Thanksgiving and my child says, yeah, I want to start up visitation. I'm going to talk to Nana about it. Ain't heard from her since. Ain't heard from my kid since whether or not her Nana said yes or no. So anyways, sorry, I'm really agitated because I really want this to end now, but I don't know how to make it end now. Because my attorney is just like sitting there spinning wheels. Well, you're not doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, says the court. You're supposed to be paying child support. You're supposed to be taking the child class. You're supposed to be doing the visitation. You're supposed to be doing all that. And, by the way, you need to get a second job. That's what you need to do. Buddy, do you have a second job? Have you ever had a second job? When's the last time you had a second job? And then have you ever had a kid? Do you know what it's like? Do you have any experience in my situation, in the life that I've lived, and anything like that? And that's another thing, too. If you're going to freaking appoint attorneys, even free attorneys, you need to find somebody that has the same background, typically, as the person. Now, I understand that they're an attorney now, so they're not going to, but they need to have had a shitty childhood, I guess is the best way to word it, and stepped out on top like, what's his name? That black judge, that he, he got in trouble and all kinds of stuff before he became a friggin' judge. Sorry, my mind kind of went for a second. But it's like, he does the TV on court or whatever. Like, I forget his name. Oh my God, what is his name? My grandmother used to watch them all the time, every single one of them. But it's like these people that grew up in families that treated them right or cared about them and this and that and everything, they will never understand what it is like to come from a past like ours. They will never understand what it's like to struggle like we do. They'll never get it. They'll never understand it. It doesn't matter how many times you tell them, they don't get it. And then they want to sit there and they want to get mad at you because they want to dictate to you the way that you're supposed to be. Well, I don't care what your childhood was. Well, I don't care what your past was. I come to work and I do my job and I do my job great or whatever, and it's like, and you're supposed to do your job great, and it's like I do it to the greatest ability that I can under the circumstances of what the hell my life has been. And they're like, well, I don't care. I'm sorry that you had a bad past. You're just going to have to get over it. And it's like, what type of past do you have? And usually whenever you ask these people, that's when you find out that their mommy and daddy cared about them. Their mommy and daddy paid for them to go to college. Their mommy and daddy paid for them their first, second, maybe even third car. Their mommy and daddy even paid for their dorm room or paid for their first apartment or bought groceries all the time for their first apartment or paid the power bill for their first apartment or all these other fucking things to help their damn kids out and shit. Or at least even educated their kids whenever their kid had a question instead of being like, I don't know. And it's like, y'all don't know what it's like. Just like y'all want to get mad at us and be like, God, I tell them all the time to just do this, and that's like even people that I've worked with, they're like, I gave her advice, she just needs to, and that's like my attorney, I gave her advice, she just needs to follow the court's plan. I'm trying to, damn it. Do you not understand that? I'm trying to, but I'm so just bombarded emotionally, I can't. Just like when I sat down with you, average person, average Joe that had an average life, and I try to tell you, I can't, and you don't get it. Well, when you say just do it and I don't get it and it frustrates you, you get what I'm saying? And then I say to you, I just can't. It's two sides of the same fucking coin. It's like, you're not going to understand it until you're there. I'm not going to understand having this nice life of just getting up and doing everything that I need to do until I get there. And I'm not there. I have to figure out a way to do my laundry. I have to figure out a way to get my trash taken off. I have to figure out a way to get to work now. I have to figure out what the hell went on with my previous job, if I even care to, because that job was way more convenient for me to be able to get to work. I have to figure out if I'm being lied to about multiple things, but one thing, other than being lied to dealing with my kid, which is the hugest thing to be lied to about, is being lied to about my damn dog missing and people saying they know where he is and that they've seen him. And then that's just like people that have never owned a pet. Or they've only owned one and that one died, or they had to get rid of it because somebody was allergic to it, and so from there on out they hated pets. You're never gonna get it from a person who has had... I'm sorry, Stevie, I scared you. I scared him because I reached behind him when he wasn't expecting it. But you're never going to understand that viewpoint, even if you're like, yeah, I had a dog once, but my parents made me get rid of it. Or, yeah, I had a dog once and it bit me, so we got rid of it. Or, yeah, I had a dog once and it got rabies, so we had, to shoot it and all that. You're not going to get it until you have a pet that you take care of until it dies of natural causes. Until it just, it's its time to go. You're not going to understand that attachment. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get that they're like family. You're not going to get that they're like your little babies. You're not going to understand it. I can talk to you all day about it, but if you've never had a pet, or if all your pets, you had to get rid of them, or whatever and stuff, and you never pushed yourself. See, that's the thing. Who are you to judge me on what I push myself on when I don't judge you on what you push yourself on? The people that push themselves to get rid of their pets, to rehome their pets and get rid of them because, oh, well, their life will be better and they can get a better home or a better place to live or a nicer house or whatever and everything. Whoa, Stevie, you tell, son. But the people that do that are never going to understand from the viewpoint of the people that push themselves to keep the pet, even though sometimes it's an annoyance. It is. Everything is an annoyance. Every living thing on the face of the planet has the capacity to be annoying. A dog, a cat, a hamster, a gerbil, a bird, a baby, an adult, it doesn't matter. Everything has the capacity to annoy, and to annoy without even realizing it. But once you push yourself past all that, and you hold on to them, just like you would your family, until they're not here anymore, you're not going to understand that and those people until you've been through that. So if you're like, oh, I had a dog for 2 years, but then I had to get rid of it because or yeah, I had one dog when I was a kid, but then we never got another one, and I realized it was a hassle. You can't teach compassion. You can't. You can try, but you can't. And in all honesty, that's all I try to do most damn days of my life. Stevie, please go, son. See, he's annoying me. I gave him like 10 signals that no, I don't want to pet you right now. He just keeps on. But you can't teach compassion to people that can't learn it because they haven't done the work. You can try. And if they're ready to accept it, then yeah, some of them can actually learn it. But if they're not ready to accept it, then it's not going to happen. And in all honesty, the younger somebody is, just like children, and I guess that's one reason that I want to be around children for as far as I always wanted to be a teacher and stuff like that. It's because they are easier to teach compassion to than an adult that was raised without it, that was never taught it, and is just no, things are what they are, and you do what you do, and you put your best foot forward, which, yeah, I still do. I understand that you may not understand that, but I do. I put my best foot forward, but I'm very compassionate driven, and other people are not. Other people are more strict, and this is the way that it is, and this is what you have to do, and you better do it, dilatory, just do, like a robot. Just get up and do it. Get up and do it right now. And I'm sorry, if I have to choose over being dilatory or compassionate, I'm going to choose being compassionate. Come hell or high water. Because it's who I am. I'm not going to lie to myself about that. I'm not going to do it. But, I don't know. I'm just in a really weird mood and stuff. And I just woke up and I got to figure all this stuff out dealing with taxes. And try to figure that out. Try to figure out all kinds of shit for tomorrow. And everything else and stuff. Go. But I debated on whether putting that video, if I should put that video up of, and that's what's kind of got me on this kick too, talking about the things I'm talking about in today's video, is I got to thinking, should I put this video up of my daughter, and us on Easter when I took video of the whole house, and I was like being a smart ass kind of, and I was like, yeah, Mom and Dad, I'm a horrible mother, look, and everything. And my kid's in the background, and she's like, I love you, and stuff like that. And she's like, put it up online, and she's like, you're the best mom, and stuff like that or whatever. And I thought, it's not going to matter. It's not going to count. I am literally surrounded by a town of people that do not get along with me, or maybe even a world of people that do not get along with me because they do not understand, because they do not come from a place of compassion. The majority of the world comes from a place of dilatory ways. I stated before how INFP is not the rarest, but they're fairly rare to a degree. And the thing is, though, is there's communities out there where other INFPs can talk to other INFPs, but the thing is apparently somebody has not figured out how to do that or whatever, because all these communities that I've went, and I'm like, hey, I can find people that are like me. That way we can talk and see, what we're similar in and this and that and build and grow. Instead, people just get on there and bitch and whine and talk about how they hate the other 15 personalities of the Myers-Briggs test and stuff, or about how they're wanting to change, from being an INFP. But the thing is like I stated before in another video or whatever, you're not going to change that. You can pretend to change it. You can change it enough that it's believable by everybody that you're not what you are. You can go out, and put a mask on and be an ENTP or what the fuck ever. I don't know what the other ones are, but anyways, I really don't. Or, what is it, a ES? Is it a ES? I don't know. I don't remember. But anyways, but you can go out and you can pretend to be these other things, but right before you go to bed each night, when you take the mask off, you're going to still be what you are. That's like if I sit here and I paint my skin every day, or if I dye my hair all the time. If I dye my hair every day for the rest of my life, and that way you never see any, I keep the mask, of, I'm black hair or, blonde or whatever. Guess what? When you still pull the root out, it's going to show that that's not my natural hair color. It's going to show that I am a brunette. And that's what I'm saying, is like, everybody just needs to get off this fake wagon shit of like fucking masks out the ass in, and just, sorry, try to not, but everybody needs to just get over it. It's exhausting and stuff. I'm just so tired. But obviously, I need to go take some more medicine. I just wish the swelling would go down in my stomach now. I really, really do. Especially my right side. Or my liver. Or I don't know. My liver or my stomach or my gallbladder or whatever. I'm tired of having a balloon in my side. The thing is, too, is if it's an ulcer and stuff, but hopefully if I just keep taking the medicine that I got, hopefully that'll take care of it. But it's like, it can take anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks to heal. I'm like, Seems about right from what I experienced before when I was with my husband and stuff. And I had to block somebody else again today that has the same last name as this girl, EJ, that I'd fallen in love with. And the thing is like, I don't know what the fucking deal is with all that and everything. It's like, would you just leave me the fuck alone? It's like, EJ, you're else gonna be with me, and you're else gonna be my friend, and that's gonna be it. And we're just gonna be friends that just hang out, and that's it. And I don't even ever want to see your family ever, 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 never, ever again if that's the case, because that's how dead of a friendship it's going to have to be, I guess you'd say, or how not close of a friendship is going to have to be, because you've ran your fucking mouth to your whole goddamn family, apparently, or your whole damn family's so fucking nosy about you that they're like, ooh, tell us more, Heather, and like, tell us more about her that we don't know. I don't know anymore. Go the fuck on, But, you need to be asking her, not me. I'm sorry, I can't fix y'all's fucking family problems. I can't even fix my own. I sure as hell ain't gonna take time to fix yours. Or even attempt to. I mean, I would, like, if me and EJ were, like, seriously dating and, like, leading towards, marriage and shit, then of course, because that's gonna make y'all part of my family and stuff. But other than that, leave me the fuck alone. Just leave me the fuck alone. Like, stop spying on me, stop looking at my Facebook, all that shit, stop showing up in my suggested friends list and all that and everything. Or if it's EJ trying to, and that's the thing too, I don't think I'm ever gonna look ever again. I've been looking at her drawings or whatever, and not last night, but the night before, whenever I was babysitting Jennifer's kid, we put in the movie Rise of the Guardians, and we watched it. And EJ, on this art thing that she has a folder that is dedicated to Rise of the Guardians. And she has this obsession with Jack and his character, because she has an obsession with another Jack, which is another character from another something, and blah, 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 and all that, everything. But she's putting up all this shit, or what the fuck ever, dealing with that, like, literally last night, and I'm just like, because coincidence or whatever, or Jennifer's talking to you. So I asked her daughter last night, I was like, has your mom, did you tell your mom that you watched that movie? And she's like, yeah. So I guess Jennifer's talking to EJ. And I guess that's been going on for a really long time. Just like I think Sue, which is another person that's been on my Facebook, she's talking to EJ. And I think Sue talks to everybody, therefore, she constantly knows what's going on. And I think she's one of those that's learned that trade of, or trait or whatever of, well, talk to everybody, be friends with everybody. That way you can kind of, see what's always going on, or at least that's the way she feels towards her real friends. And so maybe EJ and her have known each other for a really long time, and maybe they're real friends, or if not, then EJ's just friends with these people, Jen and Sue, because of gaming and stuff like that. Because gaming is apparently a little world all in itself, where everybody loves everybody wants to fuck everybody. I'm sorry, I'm just being a smartass right there, but still, it's this whole alternate universe that these people live in, where it's like, that's their family, that's their friends, that's who they care about. Even if they sit there and call each other shitheads and cuss each other out and kill each other's characters and everything else, they're the best of friends, and everything. Until they make each other cry, and then they apparently all become these sad, depressed, over anxious, melancholy people, and I'm just like, because of what you're doing. Figure that out. Like, realize that. But then it's like, this one thing that was going on for as far as YouTube that was kind of, anyways, and so this person, anyways, they talk about being sad. And this other person makes a comment and is like, that's all you ever want to be is sad, And it's like, there's so much better out there than to just sit around and be sad. But anyways, I'm going to end this video here. My side is hurting now because I've been leaning over and stuff. But, there's so much better than to sit there and be sad about things. Like, there really is. Like, why would you want to sit around and be sad about everything? And I get that it's like, oh, well, if I'm sad about everything all the time, then nothing can ever hurt me. So, if I'm sad about my family, and I'm like, I hate my family, I want nothing to do with my family, my family one day is gonna die, and I'm constantly looking at the negative, and they're gonna die, they're gonna die, they're gonna die, and all this sadness and shit and everything. So that way you never get to know them, that way you have your wall up because you're too overly sensitive, is what you like to try to tell people behind closed doors, and shit like that. Everything. And so you spend your whole life never even getting to know your family, never even talking to your family or whatever, And then next thing you know, you're waking up and you're 55 years old and, your parents are dead or whatever, And you're like, I didn't even know that was their middle name or some shit like that. Or I don't remember what their middle name was, and stuff like that. I never knew what my parents' favorite colors were, Like, yeah. Because I get what it's like to have everything good ripped away from you. Believe me, I do. And so I get that you're like, oh, well, if I stay sad about everything, if I'm kind of negative about everything in my mind, even if I don't express it, and I just act, accordingly to who I'm around and shit like that and everything, like, get the fuck over yourself. Okay? When you're smiling, when you're laughing and you're laughing. Okay? It is what it fucking is. You want to tell yourself that you're just pretending and going along with it. You don't really like it. You don't really like anything. And all this shit and everything. And it's like, no. It's like you like things. Just like you like certain foods to eat. You like certain ways that you dress. You like certain behaviors that you have. You like that you're a gamer. You like that you're into this. You like that you're into that. So like that you laugh. Like, get used to it. What makes you laugh, and then go from there, find out things like that. I don't know. I'm just tired. I would rather go through my life trying to be happy and winding up kind of shell-shocked for a while whenever it kind of hits the fan versus going through my life and just being like, yeah, I'm just going to be sad all the time. I mean, I kind of get it to a degree because, hell, I've sat here and I'll look at my dogs asleep or my cat asleep and I will start bawling my eyes out. And when my kid was home, she'd be like, what is it? And I'd be like, I just know that they're going to one day probably not be here while I'm still have to be here, and they're going to die before me. And I hate to think about that. And my kid's like, well, don't think about it, and then I'm like, but still, it makes me more appreciative when I do think about it and stuff. And she's like, well, stop crying, and I'm like, okay, I will, and all that. And then she'd do it too, because she's my kid, and I'd be like, what's wrong? And she'd be like, they're gonna die, and I'd be like, well, just get a ball and play with them. Spend time with them. Live in the present, And that's the thing about life, is like, we have been taught so badly here lately to not live in present time and stuff, and it's just absurd and ridiculous. It's like, no, we need to live in the present day. It is what it is. My cat's over here licking himself. My dog's curled up on the couch asleep. My other dog has took ownership of the toddler bed for months now and lays there and snores. Like, it is what it is. I don't know, like, you can just feel the sadness of the world, I feel like, everywhere you go. And that's what's making people so depressed and so anxious and stuff. But it's because people are being forced and told to live in the future, plan even for your job, Like even me, I have to, even if I don't go tomorrow to drop off the papers, I have to go Tuesday, I don't have to, but if I want the job, I have to go Tuesday for my orientation. And it's like, so it is what it is and everything. And it's like, oh, live in the present time and got to be there at the right time and got to be there on time and this and that and everything. And I swear, like, we have lost the compassion in the world, and everything. Like, I honestly, I don't know. And then it's like this dream that I had a long time ago that kept reoccurring and stuff. Shit, that ain't gonna move right now. I was trying to move my coffee table. But, this dream I kept having that was reoccurring and everything is pretty much kind of what's going on right now to a degree. But it's not in the terms of the dream. But it is like emotionally wise. But then I'm sitting there and I'm like, but it could come even more into fruition in the future to a degree. And then I'm just like, so, and they say that God, everything that you go through in your life is a test. And so apparently God thinks I'm like, something, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm more better off than other people and like, and I was chosen by God, or some shit like that. But the thing is everybody that is living, breathing, air, walking, whatever, that is on the face of this planet, you were chosen by God to be put here, okay? I don't give a shit if you believe in God or not. You were chosen by God to be put here, okay? I don't even give a shit if you believe in the whole reincarnation and you chose yourself to come back and this and that. God foreknew you were going to choose to be like, yeah, just send me back to earth, let me see if I can help make it better, and stuff. God done knew. God is all-knowing. Oh, and that's another thing, too, that I got on a rant about in my new app or whatever, was about people that are scientific, and they're like, oh, I don't believe in God, and there's no God, and there's no heaven, there's no hell, there's no this, there's no that. Okay, and then some of those people, because I literally believe everybody right about now has some form of anxiety or depression. Okay, where does your anxiety or depression come from? Well, it comes from my brain because of this going on, and my brain's not right, and that, and scientifically, and and so I have to take medicine for my brain to be right. Okay, how do you know what a right brain looks like? Oh, well, they don't have anxiety. They don't have depression. Okay, can you show me a right or a normal or a correct brain that never has depression, that never has anxiety? Oh, wait, you can't. I'm sorry, okay? You can probably think that you do because the person sits there and lies and smiles just like you lie and smile through your anxiety or your depression. You're like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm great. Perfect. But for as far as actually looking at the brain, if you could like look and zone in on, what a stressor is that, or what a sense is in the brain that shows up, whenever a CAT scan or whatever is being taken, and it's like, oh, they're feeling depressed. Oh, they're feeling anxious. I guarantee you're not going to find somebody that has never, ever felt depressed or anxious in their life. And then it's like, oh, well, there's normal times to feel it and there's not normal times to feel it. Oh, okay, well, what's a normal time to feel it, And then that's the thing, is life circumstances are different for everybody. It's just a constant whoosh, But anyways, for as far as science and God, scientists, they study something, right? They take it and they pick it apart in every way that they can. And in truth, every bit of science can be put into a numerical, right? A number, right? Like equation, okay? And the reason that there's the scientific proof that this is the correct answer or this is the right answer is because the numbers say that it is. The mass majority says, yes, this is the right answer. And so you, as a scientist, go, Stevie, I'm not trying to, like, he's sitting right there where I'm doing my hands, and he's like, and it's like, no. Yeah, go sleep in the Barbie doll house again. I opened up my old Barbie doll house last night for Jen's kid, and I gave her some dolls, and she was playing, and now the cat's sleeping in it, which is hilarious because that's what our pets used to do. And then they would knock it over, and my God, Bugsy, my sister's bunny rabbit, he was infamous for knocking it over and the whole roof collapsing on him and stuff. And it broke one piece of it, but I was meticulous with all my stuff, like I still am and everything. And so it's still in decent condition, but he's sleeping in it. But, anyways, dang on, so science, says, oh, you do the equation, you have the hypothesis, you do this, you have the theories, you have the serums, you have this, you have all that and everything. But the numbers is how you guarantee that it is truth. The numbers is how you guarantee that it is truth. I have nothing against atheists. I really don't. I have nothing against people that don't believe in God for other reasons. I have nothing against them whatsoever. I really do not. But when they come into my life, because this has kind of been what's happening here lately, when they come into my life and they want to question my beliefs, not in a face-to-face actual questioning of my beliefs, but no, they want to sit there and say things to try to pick apart my beliefs. Like I'll state that I believe something, I'll be like, oh, I believe that when we die, we all go to, a good place if we have not lived a bad life. Just say something random like that, just for the hell of it, because I'm sitting there and I'm talking about, let's say somebody passed away recently, in my family. So it's relating to me. And so my friend's like, what are you thinking about? Because they can tell that I'm sitting there thinking about something. And they're, they don't believe in God. And I'll say, oh, just thinking about how, people that, have a good life or, are halfway decent people, they go to a good place when they die, and other people that are bad, mean, and evil, they don't, You're the one that asked the question. You're the one that asked for the information. I gave it, Don't come knocking, and so then you're going to retaliate, and a few days later you're going to be like, oh, there's no such thing as heaven or hell, there's no good place or bad place, it's just here, and then you're just dirt, and then you're just, and I didn't even ask you nothing. I'm just sitting there kind of, hanging out with you, and you're like, yeah, I've told my kid, like you're bragging. You're like, yeah, I told my kid that this is it, this is life, and then you're just going to die, and you're going to be bones in a box and dirt, and that's it, and you're not going to, and there's no such thing as a soul, and this and that and everything else. Like, and you're saying it of your own free will. I didn't ask a question that prompted you to say that. And I realize that you're doing that as an underblow to my faith, and an underblow to my beliefs. And you do that with every belief that I have, constantly. It's always within 3 days or a week or 2 weeks or a month that you're saying something that goes against something that I said. But the thing is you asked me, so I answered. I'm sitting there and I'm not asking because I done accept you. See, that's the problem. I accept you for who you are. I accept that you don't believe in God. But if you ask me a question about my God, then yes, I'm going to answer it. Or if you ask me a question that you should know cognitively, that it's going to relate to my God, for instance, death. You ask me about death and I believe in God, then death is going to relate to God, okay? So don't ask those questions if you don't want those answers. But no, instead, you're trying to make it like I'm the one that has a problem with you, and I don't, but it's obvious that you're the one that has a problem with me because of the things that you keep saying. And I'm just like, would you stop already? And this is why I'm saying this about science and all this. Science, the proper answer comes from numbers. The numbers speak for themselves, right? The numbers is how you get the answer. The mass majority, the most, what shows, what proof. I guarantee you there are more people in this whole planet that believe in God or a higher power or some other, Buddha or this and that or some other belief system, but they believe in something, a higher power, whatever they name it, or even if they don't name it and they just call it higher power. The mass majority of people believe in that. So there's your numbers. So why are you contradicting your own self? And you're a scientific person that's like, oh, science, science, science. The numbers speak for themselves. The proof, the truth. The proof, the truth, the proof, the truth. Okay, fine, that's you. The proof, the truth, and you don't believe in God. But if you're going to attack me and be like, where's your proof and truth dealing with God and that he's real? And you want me to answer it, but you don't want to ask it straight out because it'll start a debate. So instead, you're just kind of sitting here giving these little gouges at my beliefs all the time. Well, there's my answer. I put it in this video. Why do I believe in God? I believe in God for my own personal reasons, for starters, okay? I believe in God because I believe in having a conscience. I believe in being compassionate and all this. And you can sit there and pick apart my mind as much as you want to and everything. But when I was little and I had a febrile seizure when I was 3 and I died and I seen Jesus. So yeah, I definitely believe in God, That's my own stuff. And there's another instance where, like, dealing with Jesus, okay? So yeah, I firmly believe in God. And if that would have not happened, would I not believe in him or not? I have no idea. But in all honesty, I like to think that I still would because I was raised in church. We went to church. I had dreams about Satan, okay, when I was a kid, okay, chasing me, if you will. And it wasn't like Satan, but it was like pretty kind of cartoonish, but not Satan, like. Anyways, so yeah, and I believe in good and bad, and I believe in evil and, greatness and all this and everything. Like, I believe in that stuff. That's me. That's who I am. So I believe that even if I wouldn't have died and seen Jesus, that I still would believe in God. But I don't know. I can't speak for that because that is, a different path that my life has not taken, And you can't speak if you haven't walked it. But I believe in God. And then I also believe in God because I have the backing of the mass majority of the numbers of people that do believe in a higher power. So there's your scientific evidence, if you will. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end it because it's 57 minutes. I know I said that like 30 friggin' minutes ago or 20 minutes ago. I was going to say something else, but I don't have time. And it was something else like dealing with God. But heck, I can't even remember because my brain just went right now because it's like, oh, time, hurry and get off here. But hopefully I'll get to feeling better, and hopefully everybody's doing well. And if anybody sees this and they're like an atheist or they don't believe in God and stuff, please do not take this as an attack on you because it is not. This is me talking about my personal life that I'm living and going through right now with people that are in my life right now, So don't sit there if you're an atheist and be like, oh, I got to combat her and I got to write back and be like, and all that, because you don't, because it's not you. It's not you that I'm having an issue with. It's these other people that are in my life, that are actual, in my life that I'm kind of having a little bit of an issue with. And so I'm getting on here and I'm venting. And that's what I do because it's my vlog. If you want to vent about me because you watch my video, even though you have the option to exit off of it and not watch it, then you can create a vlog or whatever and vent about me. But don't get on here and say hateful things. But if anybody likes my videos, they can comment, share, like, or subscribe. And I'm going to let you go and keep putting your best foot forward no matter what you believe in, no matter who you believe in. Keep putting your best foot forward, like, seriously, And that's like even people that, are into satanic worship and all that and everything. I mean, I just kind of, I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I feel bad for them a little bit, like sad. But that's about it, and everything. And I don't mean like that's about it and I don't have any other feelings towards them. I mean, like, I care about them like I do any other human being. But just keep putting your best foot forward. Keep trying. You're good. Like, you were put here for a reason. If you're battling anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, or anything like that, just keep pushing forward. Keep doing the best that you can. Know that you are worth it. Know that you are something good. You are. You really are. Okay? Like, I don't know how much more precisely I can, like, shove that down your throat to a degree, but you are meant to be here. You have a purpose Tomorrow's another day. You fucked up today? Okay, fine. Just get through the rest of the day, get to bed. That way you wake up and tomorrow's another day. It's okay to mess up. It's okay. God foreknew like everything before it happened. And if you don't believe in God, then hey, accidents happen. And then even dealing with science on that. How do you think some of the scientific discoveries kind of came to be? There's a few out there that came by accident. Somebody accidentally did something, then it's like, oh, that worked, Or, hey, this did that. Did you see that? And stuff like that. So, keep putting your best foot forward. Keep trying. If you need somebody to talk to, you can hit me up on my Facebook Messenger. But other than that, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to end this video, and I will catch you later in tomorrow's video.